What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So at the end of the last episode we unlocked the DH4 license and I said that I was going to park up these DE2s and that's exactly what I've done. So we've got them parked up here. We're going to be saying goodbye to these three wonderful shunters that's helped us out so much in the very early episodes of this game. And yeah guys, I really hope you're enjoying the video so far, so please do grab yourself a drink. We're about to hit the rails. Alright, so having parked these vehicles up, we are going to go looking for a DH4. Now there's a couple of ways that we can do this. We can bring up the map. In this instance, for me, my map is 6 key. And what we're going to do is just look on the map to see if there's any yellow locomotives highlighted, and there isn't. So we have visited a few places on the map, but as you can see there's nothing highlighted, which tells me one thing, that when locos spawn in, they also spawn out as well. They spawn in and then they despawn. And in this area where we are now, you can see there's a yellow marker, which means there is a few well, there's at least one loco. There's a few though. So there's three in front of us here. There's some DE6s over there that we've already encountered in our previous video, and there's actually even another DE2 here as well. So there's plenty of locos here. So we're looking for a DH4 that spawned in, but there's also another way that we could do it. We could find a restoration vehicle. Now these vehicles are dotted around the map. Once they spawn in, they stay there. So I'll give you an example of one. We actually spotted one in the previous video. If we go across here, we'll see that there's an SO60 here, and this is a vehicle that requires restoration, and in order to do that you need the museum license. You also need the SO60 license in order to take that vehicle to the museum and then to start work on it to restore it. So we could find a DH4 around the map, but in order to actually do that we'd need to unlock the museum, we'd need to take the DH4 back, and then we'd need to restore everything that's sort of rusted and damaged on it. It probably need a new engine and all that, traction motor, sorry, and all that type of thing. So yeah, we're not going to be taking that route, although if we do come across one, at least we'll know where it is. So what we're going to do is one of two things. We can either bring up the map and then press Alt and select where we want to go. So say I want to go to Goods Factory in town, for example. I can click here and I can fast travel. Now there's a cost to that travel, which in this instance is $1,141. And there's also a time cost as well. So it takes time to get there. It is much quicker if you just zip across the map. That's the quicker way to do it. And that's the way that I'm going to do it. So just to demonstrate how to do that. So you would use the F key, and depending on what difficulty you're playing on depends on how far you can zip, and you can also customize this zip distance as well. So you can literally just hit F over and over again like this. You can do it with the map in your hand as well, so you can see where you're going. And as you can see there on that blue marker, I am making pretty good progress there at getting across the map. So guys, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of prep work. I'm going to find where there's a DH4, and I will tell you exactly what the next steps are going to be in order to start driving this train. So yeah guys, I'll catch you in just a moment. Right then guys, so I have gone ahead and found a DH4. So this took quite a bit of zipping around the map and also a bit of fast traveling as well, because I wasn't getting anywhere with the zipping side of things. And we have found a DH4, so diesel hydraulic 4. So you might also notice we are here in Machine Factory in town. So we've got a few other locos over here. So we've got the DE6, another one. There's plenty of these around the map, it seems. I bet you they disappear and dry up when I get a license for one. We've got a DM3, which we don't have the license for. And we've also got the DE2, which we have obviously got a license for. We've been using those trains. And there's a S282 as well there. So quite a few different variations here of locos. But the DH4 is the one that we're going to be obviously progressing onto now. If we bring up the manual, you'll see that the DE2 that we were driving has... well, it's got the capacity to be able to pull 1.2 thousand tons on flat and clear weather. It's got the ability to pull 300 tons uphill in clear weather or 250 tons uphill in the rain. So it's quite a big drop off there. Now if we skip through to the DH4, you'll see that this train can pull 2,000 tons on the flat, 600 tons uphill, or 500 tons uphill in the wet. So yeah, a lot more capability there. So that's good. Right, we're going to step into the train. I'm going to do this manually. So instead of jumping inside, I'm going to move up to it like this and give you a good look at the paint and everything. So very nice. We'll get the door open and we'll jump up here like that. And we'll close the door behind us as well. Right, so this is the cab of the DH4. So as you can see, quite a lot going on here. You might notice that it's fairly dark in here because you've got a lot more, obviously, roof coverage. So I think the first thing is for us to do is to get the electrics on. So we've got a breaker box over here. We'll get this open. And there's only 2 switches in here. So there's the electrics, which we'll put on, and then the starter. So we'll put that on as well. And then we'll close that. And now that we've got the electrics on, we can go over and put some lights on. So we've got the cab light. So the first switch just turns on the dial lights. The second notch puts on this big light up here where we can actually see what we're doing now. So that's good. What else do we have? Well, let's move sideways a little bit. Actually, let's start with the windows. We'll get the windows open. So you need the birds singing outside. We've got a starter here, which when we press this, the engine will start because we've got the starter switch thrown. Are you ready for this? You see the tachometer go up there. We've also got the sand, which is full, fuel, oil, all full. We've got the brake pipe, which is currently empty because we don't have a train attached. And we also got the main reservoir, which is just filling up. And if you listen carefully, you'll hear the compressor switch off in just a moment when this is full. So there she goes. That sounds so beautiful. You'll see we've also got an oil temperature, which is currently, it's not warm. And we've got a tachometer, which is also currently just revving around the tick over range. We've got a speedometer up here. We've got lights front, which we'll put on. We've got tail lights, which we'll switch on as well. And if I just press F2, you'll see we've got the tail lights on there. And we've got the front lights there. So we'll go back inside again. We'll move across. So you can either stand up or you can sit down, which enables you to see out the side a bit better. I think standing up's fine because you can see a bit further ahead in my opinion, but it's open to interpretation. You've got the wipers here, you've got the sander here as well. Alright, what else have we got? Well, we've got a cut-off, which here we can switch the engine off with that. See the revs drop. Let's throw them back on again with the starter. The engine back on. We've got a reverser, which we'll put forward. We've got a throttle, which should speak for itself. But we've got a dynamic brake as well. So different to other trains that we've driven, we've got a dynamic brake, which is an engine braking system. So that's quite useful, especially when you're going downhill. Although it's not the most effective. We've got a horn. We've got the cutout, which we'll put into the usual open position. We've got a train brake, dynamic brake, and then we've got the parking brake, which will now release. So we are going to move forward, and I'll do this, step back a little bit. I'll use the keyboard to engage a little bit of throttle. You can hear her there. Quite a nice sound overall. And she's also got the equivalent of 3 gears as part of this engine. So you can kind of hear her changing through them there, although we'll just ease off on the throttle. So what I'm going to do is just take her up past this set of points here and basically prepare her for work. So we're going to be heading out. I've got a couple of jobs picked out already that we can do, but I'm just going to take her up to the end of this piece of track here. And there's a good reason for that. What I want to do today is experiment to see how much we can load onto the back of this Loco before we actually before we confirm the order, before we go and validate the order So it's a bit cheeky really, because it's taking advantage of the time bonus in a way, in that we are going to be loading the train up before she's ready to go, and then we're going to validate, and we're going to do that by getting the DE2 and getting the DE2 to shunt the cars that we're going to be taking with us. So this should be quite interesting, I think. I'm going to describe the way that we're going to do this. I'm going to describe the route that we're going to take as part of our next journey, and we're going to actually park her up here. So I'm going to throw the parking brake on. I'm going to switch everything off, put the reverser off. We can take the independent brake off. Actually, I'll leave that on a little bit. We'll switch everything off in terms of lights. We'll shut it down. Close the windows as well while we're on. We'll throw these breaker switches to the off position. And yeah, we're going to go find a job, basically. We're going to do that by going over to the station house. Now, as I said, I've already got a couple picked out, so yeah, just complete transparency. I kind of have an idea of what we're going to be doing, although it's something totally different and a bit risky, a bit unique. So I noticed that there's two jobs here. There's this one, which is a trip to Coal Mine East, which is 33,000. So I'll put that into my inventory by hitting the 1 key. So I said previously in the last episode that we were going to leave some slots available for our manifests. So if I hit tab now, you'll see I've got 2 there available. So both of these jobs are excavators, and one is going to Coal Mine East, and the other one is going to Iron Ore Mine East. Now you might say, well, that's 2 different locations. Well, yes, it is. And also, these are not light loads. If you actually look, the first one's 252 and the second one is 288 tons. So we're looking at just under 600 tons. So we're going to be testing the Loco to see how well it pulls. But the value is there. This one is 38,000 and that one is just under 34,000 plus a potential time bonus. So let's bring up the map and we can see here that these jobs are going to be up here to Iron Ore Mine East and Coal Mine East. So you could say, well, why don't you head out north and go around here? Well, I don't know what this part of the track is like. This could be a right chew, especially if we were sending into the mountains to come back down, go past food factory, military base, in this way. What I'm going to do is take the same route that we took when we went to Harbour Town and head south. And it might seem like a bit of a long way, but I don't want to go through here again, not just yet. I want to go down this way, across here, up here, through here, and then to here or here. One way that we could have done there actually is to go up here, but this is a chew, I think. I think that's where there's all the hills. And then up here. But yeah, basically, I think the southerly direction and this sort of route that we took last time up to this point before going north. We've been along this track before, but then taking this junction across the bridge up, and then we can choose Iron Ore Mine East or Coal Mine East. And I think I'm going to favour going into Iron Ore Mine East first, and then Coal Mine East secondly. So let's go and find our train. Or our cars, should I say. So over here, you'll see that there's some excavators. There's 2 lots. So if we firstly look at this one. So Coal Mine East is this set of cars. So this will be the first slot that we load onto our Loco, because our first drop off is going to be this one, which is going to be going to Iron Ore Mine East. We can see that because it's MFFH95. So we talked about how to find those trains in one of the very first episodes. So let's go and get our shunter and let's start shunting these cars onto the back of our new Loco. So let's get in our DE2, because that's what we're going to be using here. So if I remember rightly, we're going to be throwing switches here to get everything on. Start her up. We'll get this cutout thrown. We'll throw her into drive. We'll also put some lights on. We'll throw a bit of independent brake on while we release the parking brake. So we're good to go there, but what we don't have is the turntable in the right place. So let's just move this into the right place. Right, we'll hop aboard. So we'll do this part manually, and then we'll get the old remote control out. And it is just raining as well, isn't it? Run a bit of the old wipers on. So we'll just let her roll forward really here, because we don't have track at the other side of this turntable until we turn it. So a bit of a bump down there. So let's turn that independent brake, and then we can turn our turntable like that. Right, what we'll do is get her moving. We'll get the remote control out and we'll pair her up like that, and then we'll jump out. We'll zip forward down to here where our other loco is still waiting for us. So we'll just wait for our DE2 to come along, and then we'll start making plans to reverse her in. So what I'm trying to do with my videos at the moment is to put less edits in, if possible. The reason why I've had to edit the videos down so much for the last few episodes, at least, well, quite a few episodes now, is because of the length of them. The pure length of the videos is just so long. It would take forever to edit and to actually render and upload. So I'm trying to keep them about half an hour, absolute maximum. Right, so now that we are sort of in place here to start reversing, let's pull up the station map, and we want to be on Machine Factory in town, and we are coming in from the south here, so it's that switch. It is this one over here. So it's B yard. I think that one's C. Yeah, so it's B yard. Right, so back over here, we're going into B yard, so that switch is correct. That one is. That'll take us into B. And then, when we get closer, I'll take a look and see where we want to be. In fact, because we're pushing these cars onto the back of this loco, we're going to go to the other end of B yard. We'll do it with the B map. So, that switch is correct. That one wants to be that way to take us straight down, coming in from the south. Okay, all good. Close that, get our remote control out, change the direction, start to release the independent, and get a tiny bit of power on. See if we can hop on the roof. There we go. Great view of what's going on up here. We'll probably afford to go a bit faster, but I don't want to go too fast just in case something goes wrong, which has a tendency to happen. Pretty sure our switches are right. Yeah, so we're going into B yard now. We're going 30k, so I'll just knock her off down a little bit. No, we're good, we're good. So we're not against the clock here. We're actually just trying to make things as quick as possible for our own benefit, really. See, the braking distance once you've got the bit of wet going on is vastly increased. Right, so just while she's stopping there, let's just have a quick look again, see which one we're doing first. So we said Coal Mine East would be the second drop-off, so we want to be in on... No, it's the other way around. So we want the Coal Mine East first. These cars will be secondly loaded on at the back of the train. So let's have a look at our switches then, so we can start by throwing these ones, just using this. So that's going to take us in there. And just again, this is the correct train with the 46. Right, let's get the train back down here. And again, that's 95, so that's going to be our first drop off, and this is our second drop off. What I'm going to do here actually is, once this train starts to get close, I will put a bit of independent on, and then I'll quickly get ready with my couple button. Let's move back a bit so we can get a view on this. Because this is a beautiful tool, this, to be fair, this couple button. So we're going to get ready to click this here. So hitting this about 5k's is absolutely fine. And there we go, we're locked up. So one thing that we need to do, actually, I was going to say we need to release parking brakes, but we actually don't, because that automatically occurs when you use that little thing. See, we had a bit of wheel slip there, even on throttle 1. So there's not too much you can do about that wheel slip, to be fair. Yeah, we need to be... You can't really engage throttle 2 until you're a little bit further in speed, and then you've got to think about braking, because obviously we've got a loco at the end of here. Yep, once you've got 2 you can't get 3 in the wet. So this little DE2 is doing a lot of work here, to be fair. Can't see that way. Can we see this way? Oh yeah, there we go. Right, let's just zip along a little bit, because we know that this track is leading us in the right direction, even though it's overgrown. So we want to be here, obviously. We should start to see her come in just a sec. There she is. So the thunder and lightning isn't helping, is it? It does look beautiful on this game, though. I mean, look at that. Yeah, I'm having a great time with this game. I mean, just look at this. This is our design, you know, in terms of... We have put together this concept of pushing and loading. I know it's an age-old sort of thing, but in this game, this is the first time we're trying it. You can experiment with these things, you know. So I'm just putting a bit of brake on now. Because obviously she's coming fairly quick, really, I'd say. Don't want it to lose too much speed, though. I think this must be slightly downhill here as well, because we're gaining speed. Oh, not quite. My timing was just slightly off there. Okay, so I am going to do this manually because I'm not too sure how to switch the coupling over as of yet. Now, it's something that I'm going to learn, obviously. But for now, we'll couple her up manually. And we'll go down here. Whoops, gone a little bit too far there. And we'll uncouple. in the same thing, in the same vein. Right, let's get her into reverse. So we can actually just go as it is and just go straight through the siding that we actually brought these trains out of. We don't need to bother, you know, switching to the main track again like we did the one that we came down before. Just want to get back on the roof. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Or we can always ride inside. There we go, that'll do. So yeah, having a whale of a time with this game still. And I really hope you're enjoying the episodes, because I am thoroughly enjoying this sort of free play. Yeah, if you are, please do hit me up with a like. It's the best way of supporting this channel. And obviously another great way of supporting it is to hit up the subscription button. If you want to be notified of upcoming videos, please do hit the bell icon. And yeah, I love to hear from you guys in the comment section, so hit me up there as well. And I do tend to respond to every comment unless it's something abusive, in which case, you know, obviously it goes without saying. The one thing that I don't do is to get into arguments with anybody online. And if I sense that anybody's looking for an argument, then I just don't, you know, what's the word? I just don't get involved in that type of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much my ethos when it comes to online stuff. I've seen quite a few people argue online about all sorts of stuff with complete strangers. Just makes no sense to me, really, that. Right, again, just while we're waiting for it to come to a stop, we'll hop down and get the old switches at the ready. So we're going in here. Yep, that's correct. So let's just get our remote control. Again, we just need to be a bit careful with the speed because, well, two reasons. We can easily wheel slip it. And the second reason is that, yeah, we just don't want to go smashing into this car because we're going too fast and we can't stop. Where's our train going? I've done something wrong there, haven't I? Yeah, there's something not right there. Let's have a look, see what I've done. Alright, the very first switch I haven't thrown. I thought I had, but I can guarantee when I look back on the recording I won't have done it. It's a real thunderstorm, isn't it? Not just a little bit of rain. It's beautiful though. It's very well done. Again, I'm going to be ready with my couple button. There we go. What's it doing? Why is it throwing a paddy there? There's no throttle on. I mean, we certainly can't go to throttle 2, I don't think. Unless I'd missed something there. There was no throttle on, so I don't know why it was... Why you could hear the engine sort of making funny noises and whatever. Yeah, we can't... I'm just using too much throttle here with a big, obviously, big heavy set of diggers on the back of the cars. Okay, so one thing we need to be conscious of here is obviously we've got already a bunch of cars on the track wherever they are. Here they are. Whoa! Why are those moving? Sugar. Wow, that could have been a real disaster. And these are only here. So that in itself is a miracle. Wow, that could have been a real nightmare. Right, right, what I'm going to do is stop these where they are. Obviously, the actual Loco brake isn't enough to hold the cars. That's a lesson learned, isn't it? So we've got brakes on now. I'm just glad that we got we got it at the right time. Oh my actual days, that was very interesting. Right, she doesn't want to go backwards. Now she's going. Right, what we're going to do is pair this one up. And we're going back basically because I'm concerned about how far we can take these locos out, or these cars out of the yard before they are no longer a valid job. I wish really in some ways I'd just got the cars loaded onto the back of here the simple way, but we've experimented. It's been interesting. It was nearly a disaster. It may be not something that I'm going to be doing again. Alright, so after that little drama, can we switch the sand off? So grateful that we spotted that. Wow. Nearly ended in absolute disaster. I'm just still trying to process exactly what happened there. Oh no, come on. Yes, there we go. Okay, let's get it attached up before anything else happens. I can actually see what we're doing here. Okay, so we're pressurizing the brake pipe. What I'm going to do is disconnect. Oh, not that way. We're going to go here and disconnect the DE2. And yeah, we'll shut her down basically. She can stay there. She'll probably despawn. We'll basically shut everything off. Actually, that's fine. We'll put the parking brake on. And switch everything off. Right, now as for this baby, I don't know whether we can actually switch her off. Yeah, I think we can. We've got pressure in the pit, in the brake line. Yeah, we'll switch everything off. So she should be fine like that. So guys, the reason why I was switching her off there is because this is going to be the end of this episode. I'm not driving in the dark. So what we're going to do is at the start of the next episode, validate these two orders, drive our route, or at least half of it. And yeah, that's something to look forward to see if we can actually even validate those orders. That would be amazing, wouldn't it, to get things started. For now, guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I'm going to head to the station house and get a good night's sleep. And I'll see you in the morning. Please do take care, and I'll catch you again soon.